Welcome back to the SEC Championships. There you see Georgia senior Kinsey Rowe. Georgia suffered a blow early in this meet when Kinsey was competing on vault. Here we'll take another look at it. She seemed to tweak her knee on the landing. We didn't know the extent of that injury, but the diagnosis does not look good.
Well, we have alternates obviously on every event, but you have people in your lineup for a reason. They're your highest scorers. So it is a big blow for us. It's certainly not anything we expected. We were really excited about our meet tonight because we were going to have all 6 of our seniors competing for the first time in their careers together at an SEC championship. And it's just this particular class just has had the worst luck, and this is just one more blow for us to swallow. But we'll give it our best shot and try to come back strong in the next 3 events.
And Kinsey is out for the rest of this competition, possibly for the rest of the season.
And that's something that Georgia's certainly going to have to deal with. We will see Georgia in this rotation, though. Georgia, Florida, and Alabama all were off in the last rotation. But they are here in rotation number 4. Florida Gators on vault, and Orley Szmuch is up.
Yuchenko, half front layout. She finds the landing. What a tough vault to stick. Not a problem for Orley.
God, I love watching Orley compete. She always has such a huge smile on her face. She gets a 9.875 for her efforts.
Always high energy, always enthusiastic, and never expects less than the best from herself. And it's paying off.
Another athlete I've really enjoyed watching this year, Kelsey Ericksen, the freshman walk-on from the University of Georgia, who is a strong candidate for Freshman of the Year.
It's definitely been my goal since the beginning of the season. You know, coming here without a scholarship, I knew I had a lot to prove, and I don't think it was out of my reach, but I worked really hard, and so hopefully it'll come through.
Kelsey has been very consistent across 4 events, but this is the event that she was recruited by Georgia for. Excellent here, performing 2 major release moves.
And we should point out that while Kelsey is a walk-on, it's not for lack of scholarship. She turned down full rides to other schools because she wanted to come to Georgia.
Any school in the country would die to have this caliber of athlete on their team. You can see it showing it off here on bars. There's her second release move. It's not an easy one. That's an E-level piked Jaeger. Hitting her handstands. Just the dismount again, showing big difficulty here. Double Arabian, way above the bar. Just a step on the landing. Great job. Very clean routine.
As you said, this is Kelsey's specialty. The bars are what she came in doing the best on, and she's been great for Georgia this year. She gets a 9.9.
1/10 deduction for the dismount, the step on the landing. That means that the entire routine was perfect other than that.
An exciting performer here for the Auburn Tigers on beam. Rachael Tarentino, the freshman, has a 10 already. Auburn's first 10 on beam since 2002. She scored earlier this year.
And that 10 came just 2 days after the LSU meet where Shanna Summerall tore Achilles tendon. They struggled on beam at that event. They pulled it together, and she scored a perfect 10 against Centenary. 2 back handsprings layout straight down the beam. You could tell that she was on. Auburn has vault and bars out of the way. They struggled score-wise on bars, but this is the event and floor exercise, their next event, where they can make up ground in terms of scores. Front tuck solid. Changement into a difficult 3/4 twisting straddle jump. Big score will come with a stuck landing, and she hits it.
Rachael Tarentino comes up with a 9.9 for the Auburn Tigers. Great beam performance there by the freshman.
Take a look at that front tuck skill right here. Big difficulty. She's so aggressive on the landing, and that's what holds her on.
Jeana Rice has put up some big scores for Alabama already. She is preparing to go on floor and is one of the athletes Bama has to have hit.
With Jeana Rice being an all-arounder for us, Shannon Horozak doing 4 events, you know, those two are pretty key along with Ashley Miles. Ashley is our exclamation point at the end of a big lineup on vaulting and floor exercise, and we need, you know, those athletes are the ones that can give us the potential large scores, 995, 9975. And I think, you know, every team, if you're going to win, you have to have a couple of those that come through at the end with that exclamation point.
And Jeana has added difficulty to her routine here at the end of the season. We'll see that in her last tumbling pass. Remember, Alabama comes in here after a bye, which, yes, gives them rest, but it also could mean that they're cold. They need to get their bodies moving here. Opening with a huge full in, back out in a pike position. Gorgeous start. Full front pike. Nice job showing off both backward and forward tumbling. Jeana can really start to let loose here. So can this whole Alabama team. Bars and beam are out of the way. Those are the real nerve-wracking events. Now they can really start to show off, enjoy their crowd. They have plenty of supporters here. Final pass, I mentioned the added difficulty. She put it in after the Georgia meet. Whip to 2.5 twist, not a problem. Oh yeah, great routine.
You still see that confidence on Jeana's face through that entire routine that we've seen this whole meet, Lori. And just think, a 995 to go with scores already high, a 995 on bars, a 9975 on beam. No question, Jeana Rice and the Crimson Tide are showing why they're the defending SEC champs.
I've never seen research like this online.
So switch to TD Waterhouse, the alternative to higher-priced brokers like Merrill and Schwab.
Second half of rotation number 4 as we come back to the SEC Championships in Duluth, Georgia. Alexis Brion on floor for the Crimson Tide.
Another one of Bama's great floor workers. Whip to a double back. What great height she gets in her tumbling. Half to a Copa. At Alabama's meet against Georgia, Alexis had a little problem with the timing on this pass. She changed it up, and that lowered her start value. Whip half front, full front tuck. That's the way she wanted to do it. Always shows a lot of energy in her routine. Final pass. Not an easy one. Double back. Boy, does she get some height.
Strong routine for Alexis Brion. She's happy, goes jumping off in her coach's arms, and she gets rewarded with a 9.95. Alabama putting up some big scores on floor in this rotation.
Clean landing. She hits all 3 of her tumbling passes, backs it up with some very entertaining dance, increases expectations. She came on a little flat and was unable to put this vault on her feet.
And we'll get a chance to take a look at Cory Fritzinger for the Georgia Gym Dogs. This is an event that she can be very powerful in.
And Georgia knows that Alabama is putting up big scores on floor. You can't help but notice the energy and intensity that's coming out of this crowd in this arena. Georgia staying very positive after the loss of Kinsey, staying focused on the task at hand, and Cory gets the job done.
As you said, Lori, they need to come up with some big scores, and Cory Fritzinger does it, a 9.95. You see now why the crowd at Georgia likes to chant Fritz hits, because she certainly does so here.
Georgia's hit with a little adversity, and they are not backing off whatsoever. Cory's one of the best bar workers in the country. She shows it off nicely here.
And from one of the best bar workers in the country to one of the best on floor, Ashley Miles for Alabama. There you see it. Never scored below a 9.9 in this event. She is fantastic to watch on floor.
Looking to build on Alexis Brion's 9.95, opening with a solid double layout.
Gotta love the power and explosiveness you see in Ashley's routine.
This is exactly how I like to see floor done. Big tumbling, great dance, entertaining. Front full, front layout. Some of these athletes and coaches have complained about this floor. It is on top of an ice rink, which makes it a little bit harder. Most of these girls compete with the floor on top of a basketball court, which gives it a little extra bounce. If we're going to see a problem, we'll see it in athletes like Ashley, who are throwing the big tumbling, the double layouts, the full ends. And there's not a problem so far. Last pass, double pike, and she nails it. What an amazing routine. A little reminiscent of last year's SEC Championships, where she won it for Alabama on this event. Her music has stopped. Very interesting, but she finishes up her routine. That will not be a deduction. A great routine for Ashley. I'm sure the coaches will go discuss this with the judges to make sure that there's no deduction there, to let them know that she didn't finish off beat. There's the meet director, Marion Mahoney, discussing it with the judges. Sarah's concern is that they check the music to make sure that this doesn't happen to any of the other teams.
And just take another listen, you'll hear where it goes out.
Right there, you cannot break your concentration. She continues up, finishes it all the way to the end. Big applause by her teammates. They're supporting her all the way.
And the question now is, that was a fantastic routine. The crowd wants a 10. It looks pretty good to us. It might have seemed a little off with that music, but as we said, it was a technical error, not an error by Ashley Miles. There's 110. What will the other judges give? 4 judges at this meet.
So hard to get a 10, a perfect 10 at SECs, and she gets it, a perfect 10. That's at least 3 10s from the 4 judges. High and low are dropped, the other 2 are averaged. What a tough routine.
Wow, Ashley Miles coming through. Sarah Patterson says she's an exclamation point. Now you see why. A perfect 10 for the Crimson Tide. What a finish as they go off. We're coming back with rotation 5.